the resurgence of that type.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, in a game like this, well, specifically in Scrolls, countdown manipulation is always going to be uh, as important, I would say, as card draw, well, hand advantage. Um, and it's unique to the game. So people are always going to see ways to use that to their advantage. Some would say there's a little bit of a risk with Fury, but you've got control over it. And as you said, in combination with Bombard and Iron Whip, I don't see why, with the ranged theme, the ranged creatures and things like supercharged. I don't see why it shouldn't help with Energy's push. When I started out, there did seem to be a general feel that although the scrolls were balanced, Energy was the less used, the weaker of the group. That's why I think I raised today the point that I've seen more Energy, because that, based on what people were discussing around me at the beginning of my time on playing Scrolls, seemed unusual. But yeah, I think um, it's it's certainly got plenty to offer, and I've had matchups where I think I've maybe testing grounds, not ranked, where I've played against a solid energy build and beaten them hands down with growth. But then we've rematched again after rejoining and searching, found each other again, and it's gone the other way around. So, which did make me just want to quickly add that the state of the meta, I think, is important when you have a range. It doesn't have to be too many, but just a range of decks that all vie for the top spot but never get there. And I think Scrolls is doing, Mojang are doing a good job of that at the moment by addressing problems with individual cards and fixing them, rather than just adding new cards to drown out, as it were, the quality of the previous ones. And I think that's going to help in the long term.
And
Awesome.
as far as the energy structure go, one of my friends who started playing the game with my code, he made the mistake and picked energy as his starting deck. um, but as far as energy structure goes, it seems like it's the most easily accessible top tier deck. Easily accessible cards or scrolls to actually get, right?
I see. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, you, the really tough ones to get in that structure deck are divinators, and that's about it.
Well, actually,
I
all
mean,
right. So,
everything else is fairly easy.
so I'm a detractor
Yeah.
here. I chose. I actually, when I first started, chose Order as my primary deck, and decided I didn't like it, which is apparently a sin. And then I bought the Energy Precon as soon as I could, and loved it from there.
Well, yeah, I too bought the Order Precon. Didn't like it, quote unquote, but moved to Growth. But I mean, I'm back to playing Order as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems if you look at the deck list, that the generally understood top energy structure deck list, the hard scroll to get your hands on is Machine Divinator. Other than that,
Solemn
you've
Giant.
got there
Solemn
are
Giants
so many
are
Solemn
hard.
Giants.
I have found that Solemn Giants are very hard to find.
So
Anyways,
you're looking at 6 scrolls there, but for basically 6 hard to read scrolls and I'd say what, like 10,000 gold, roughly, maybe you can build a quote unquote top tier deck that can get you up into the top 100. Um, and the reason why that's there is Watcher Geddon. That's why everybody knows you play mono energy structures to defeat Watcher Geddon.
but
But
the
if you're
problem
a
is
new,
that in the meta that doesn't work, because
right,
Watcher
right,
Geddon is too fast.
right, and if you're a new player as well, you're gonna lose to an experienced player playing Watcher Geddon. That's just what's gonna happen unless you draw the nuts and they don't full combo. You know,
Mhm.
um, and that's basically how that's going right now, which is kind of another reason why I want to play, mono growth, because when I have the time to play, not too many people are on, so I'm just gonna, sweep up and wipe the floor with people playing mono growth. And if I run into Watcher again, you just kind of hope you draw right, and that's kind of the thing. Oh, Machinated Forge, yeah, Blinky, you're right. But I mean, Machinate, that's kind of hard to get your hands on. Machine Chant, not so much. Um, that kind of brings us to another topic we have to talk about later. But
Well, I don't know that we'll actually get a chance this time, but I am going to attempt to host these a little more regularly now that we're out of the holidays. Um, moving on because we are quickly running out of time here. In the pre-discussion for this whole thing, Dragon Hearts and I we started going over advice for new players and what would you do, and I'd actually like him to share some of that with us.
Yeah, sure.
And what can you do to support the new players?
Well, I think significantly for me, coming in blind, making a bunch of mistakes, I've tried to pass on that knowledge to new players and avoid that. I really liked Blinky's series, his Kabonk Me Maybe series, because I was in the middle of trying to get all the scrolls. I watched that and went, well, hang on, he's right, just work on one deck. And that's what I did, and I play significantly with one deck now, shall we say, to... I can hear a cat.
Yes,
to get me,
my apologies. She is insisting on being on my lap.
She's a mascot for today. So yeah, I spent a significant amount of time at the moment playing with my Grave deck. I enjoy playing it. I put time into getting the scrolls for it, as well as others. But I almost call it, could almost say it's my deck to get gold. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that will be another player's choice. It's something that I enjoy. So your first deck, if you are going to build one deck, make sure it's something that you enjoy playing. Secondly, to get the gold, to grind for gold, some people don't. I don't know whether this is true or not, but they don't seem to want to play the trials. But I think that's always a good advice, is to jump in there, play until you can't get any further, come back and spend some more time on the single deck that you've got. Don't be afraid to go and play ranked or the testing grounds, but I think the trials is important. And as you said earlier, in the general chat, spread advice around, help other players. I see a lot of questions. Sometimes they're left unanswered in general chat, and I think it's important to just give the advice freely, rather than be competitive with the scrolls. And the last one that was really important to me, and I don't think he'll mind, but he's a friend of mine in the guild as an example. He's gone from 1,200 down to 700 scrolls in the last few weeks. The majority of those he's given to new players to help them play. I don't think that I have a problem with people making profit off commons, some uncommons, and the uncommons within the trading area. But I think that we've all at some point been given scrolls, and I think passing that on actually really does help new players, and helps them feel part of the community, and also then when they get to a certain level, pass on that friendship and that help. It can't always be as idealistic as we want it to be, but I think new players are going to feel that pinch when they start playing, and I think having somebody go, "Hi, I don't need these, you have them," whether they're going to use them straight away or not is a good feeling. So I think, passing on things like commons rather than hoarding them and hoping to make money off them is a good step forward to keeping the game going and to help new players.
Okay, so I'm going to sorry, Drew. Normally this is where I'd ask for your input and everything like that, but knowing what he just said and knowing what you would say, I think we've almost covered all of it. I just want to add one thing of my own here. When a new player comes in, one of the most common complaints we hear about is, where's the auction house? Trading sucks. Buying and selling scrolls sucks. It's so hard to get these things. It's so hard just to find them. And what amazes me is that people do not know that there are tools out there to help you with this. So in the chat, what I'm doing is I'm linking to two things. I'm linking to No Heroes repository, and specifically the Not an Auction House mod within it, which is probably the solitary, other than the trade search mod itself, it's probably the solitary thing that drastically improved my capability not only of getting my collection, but my experience in general with trying to collect and sell scrolls. Because what you can do with this is you can You can target specific scrolls. You can target specific price ranges. You can auto-generate selling and buying messages that you can then copy and paste into the trade dialogues. You can figure out what do you need in your collection, and it all updates directly from the Scrolls Guide / price web page. So it's a wonderful, massively powerful tool that No Hero has graciously provided us with and supported through everything. So my personal recommendation is to get this mod and install it along with the trade search mod, and you will find your experience just completely changed in this regard. So Drew, do you have any tidbits of advice
On what?
on new players? How do you go about dealing with new players?
How do I deal with new players? For one, I know it's silly, but I have gold to burn. So if new players, and obviously new players, are selling proximity mines and iron whips and shrines, I buy them. You know, what's 50 gold? What's 90 gold? What's 75 gold to me? Nothing. You know, I buy them. I give them a little chunk change. Not only that, you know, I'll buy a 75 gold shrine for 150 just to do it. It's nothing to me. I mean, we all know up top we have so much gold, it's ridiculous. Overpay for stuff, man. Like buy all these stupid commons and then turn right around and give them away. It helps. It helps out a lot. I would also suggest to, obviously, you know, doing all the trials. That's the first thing to do. Do your trials. Do your trials. Do your trials. Do your trials. Stop and then do your trials again. That's about 12,000 gold. 12,000 gold. That right there basically buys you a deck. And then if you have a little bit extra to spare, now with all of the changes to Judgment, play some Judgment, man. You're getting some good scrolls now playing Judgment. You win 3 games, and you're pretty much definitely get your money's worth. Yeah, I'd say play Judgment. And just keep on playing. Don't give up. Really don't. It's a good game. Tons of information out there. Read it.
All right. Okay, and as a final point, and this is probably where Blinky is going to really start grinning, we have Susan to talk about. For those of you that are not in the know, Susan is the name of the cup for the Braggin' Brawl, whose next set of games is going to be held on the 4th, which I believe is in a week. Oh yes, and Blinky says achievements also. Achievements are another good way of getting gold. They're 100 gold apiece. You can find them under your profile in the game. But Susan is up for grabs. The current holders of it right now is the Badger Guild, and they have it on their recruitment page. If you want to take Susan from the Badger Guild, get 5 people together in a clan. The clan would need to be formed as of today, as in the recruitment post for your clan would need to be up today, because the requirement is that the clan needed to exist for 1 week before the tournament starts. We actually had a guild formed specifically for the purpose of trying to take Susan from the Badgers. I know us, the think tank, really want it badly. And what about you, Dragons?
Yeah, our guys, we've called ourselves, our competitive team, the Gorillas, and managed to get at least 5 together, playing together as regularly as we can. And yeah, they're ready and raring to go. A few indecisions over what deck to take, of course, with the way the environment is. But yeah, ready to go.
And the superb Simon from Rats and Bunnies says, I want Susan.
Yeah, I definitely think too. I'm pretty sure we'll be streaming it this time. The first one was a little on the DL, but I definitely think this is going to be the top-notch competition. This is where you're going to see the best players, the best decks, the most innovation. This is where it's going to be. This is where everybody's going to bring out their big guns. You know, You ain't gonna see any,